Hey everybody, welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. Tonight we're going to be doing a gear review video, and we're going to be reviewing a product by a company called Upperosey. I've previously done a review for their solar panel that they use to charge trail cameras, and it performed really well. There was user error on my part. Well, it wasn't really user error on my part. The SD card I had in my trail camera was corrupted. And so when I got back and pulled the camera, it hadn't taken any pictures. I thought originally it was because it didn't have any power because the solar panel wasn't working, but that was not the case. Solar panel worked fine. I put a new SD card in, tested the solar panel again, and in fact tested it in much rainier weather. The next 2 or 3 days we had rain pretty much every day, but it powered the camera, and I intentionally set it up in a place where it would get a lot of false positives from the leaves blowing. So it took thousands of pictures and it was still fully charged. So I'll put a little card in the video so you can go check that out. I would highly recommend that product if you're running trail cameras and don't want to put batteries in. Now what they sent me this time is a mount for trail cameras. And I'm assuming you could also use this mount for their solar panel. So I'm just going to pull everything out. This is the little box that it came in. So you can see it's pretty small as far as the packaging. They call this the Tree Dude 2 mounting bracket. And as far as the parts and accessories, it has a bracket body. It's got a wing nut. It's got 1/4-inch screw, tree drill part, multi-use base it says, another 1/4-inch screw for securing the rod to the base, rubber pad, drywall screws and anchors, and a trail camera strap. And then it's got installation instructions in here. That's the parts and accessories on the back. So this is what everything looks like. Here's your trail camera strap. Here's what you're going to screw your trail camera into. This is what you're going to put into the base. So you're going to drill the base into the tree. Then you're going to connect this here. And here are your screws. Putting it into the tree, a couple of mollies, or that's what I call them anyway, and your base. So what I'm going to do, it's night as you can tell if you look behind me, it's dark outside, but I'm going to install this just in one of our trees in the yard tomorrow, set the camera up on it, let it sit up there for several days. I mean, if I get any pictures, I'll share them, but I rarely get any wildlife in my yard, so it's mainly going to be the cat and things like that. But anyway, we'll show you tomorrow how easy it is to install. We'll leave it up for a few days. We've got snow coming down tonight, so we'll have a little weather. We'll see how it holds up in the weather. And then we'll give you my final thoughts here in a couple of days when we pull it off the tree and see how it performs. We've got that Upperosey Tree Dude mounting trail camera mount on the tree, and right now I'm using the strap to put it up. So there's 3 different ways you can mount this. You can mount it with the strap on the platform, which is how we have it now. You can put 2 drywall screws through that same platform and mount it, or you can just use, I think they call this a drill, tree drill. You can just screw this in and mount it that way. And I'll show you what that looks like using this in a minute. Now my plan originally was to go up in the mountains and hang this, but we just keep getting snow, They've been so patient with me. So one thing I wanted to show you on this buckle, this is a metal buckle, which is nice. This isn't plastic. And it's got a quick release system. So you just, tighten it up, pull it tight, and then you can see this has teeth. It'll tighten on itself, and then to loose it, you just press there. I really like the buckle. I like the fact that it's not plastic. That's going to make it more durable. And it's easy. You can kind of do it with one hand if you had to. You just, as I was pulling this, and that'll lock on itself. And then as you can see, it's just really simple. Just push that with your finger. That'll open that buckle back up. And then of course you mount your trail camera up here. You can change the angle. I always just hang my cameras directly to the tree. I've never used a mount. But one of the nice things about this is you can mount it higher. You know, I could hang this anywhere up here in this tree and then angle it back down. So I definitely see the value of being able to angle and position your camera. Plus you could turn it based on the sun if the sun's giving you a lot of false positives or things like that. So anyway, that's the strap mount. So I'm gonna take this off and mount it just with this and show you what that looks like. All right, now we have it secured using the tree drill. So coming here behind, so this piece here is just drilled right into the tree, just screwed in. It's got, I don't know, probably 1.5 inches. I'll measure it when I go back in the kitchen. 1.5 inches threaded screw that comes out. And then here's your wing nut. This wing nut's going to loosen the tension on these ball joints to make it easier to maneuver this how you want. And then obviously once you get it, once you get it locked in place, the angle that you want, then you can really tighten it down with this wing nut. Personally, I think this is going to be more secure than the strap. I think even if you really tighten that strap down, if an animal bumps the camera, if it gets windy and wet, I just think there's chances for that strap to shift a little bit, to slide a little bit. This isn't going anywhere when you mount it directly into the tree using that tree drill. So again, I'd recommend either using the tree drill or the 2 screws into that platform. But I think that's how I would secure it versus the strap. Although again, I really like the metal buckle on that strap. I just think this is going to give you a tighter, more locked in position. Just measured. The screw coming out on that tree drill is 1 3/8 inches. So you've got 1 3/8 inches. It's coming out to drill this into the tree if you choose to mount it using the tree drill. Okay guys, final thoughts on the Upperosey Tree Dude 2 trail camera mount. One of the details I like about it is the metal clip on the strap. I think that's going to give you more durability. I just watched another review video on another channel about a trail camera, and they mentioned how the clip was plastic and they were concerned about durability. I think the metal is going to give you, more time to use it out in the field. The other thing I'll just warn you about when you're taking this wing nut off, the bracket body, this is spring loaded, so you can really tighten it down and keep your camera from getting jostled around and bumped around. If you take this wing nut all the way off as you're widening it, there's enough tension here, it's going to pop off and you're going to be looking for your springs on the ground, or at least that happened to me. So as you're taking the wing nut off, just be careful not to take it all the way off. But I think it's a great little product. I'm going to put a link in the description. I personally have never used a camera mount. I've always just strapped my cameras right to the tree. But I can see the advantages of using a mount. Number one, you can mount it higher and then point it down on where you want to get footage. And that's going to eliminate the elk and the deer from bumping it. I've had a lot of situations where elk and deer will lick my trail camera, will rub against it, and they'll knock it around so it's no longer getting the angle that I want it to get. This would certainly help you avoid that. So I'll put a link in the description for that. You guys check it out when you have some time. I'm going to wrap this up with 2 things. We've still got the channel shout out and the Minute on the Mountain to do. So I guess 3 things. But then also Hannah's going to help me draw the winner of the 1,150 subscriber giveaway. So we'll do that here in just a moment. The Minute on the Mountain is going to come from 2 Peter chapter 1. I'm going to read verses 5 through 9. It says, in view of all this, make every effort to respond to God's promises. Supplement your faith with a generous provision of moral excellence, and moral excellence with knowledge. Knowledge with self-control, and self-control with patient endurance, and patient endurance with godliness. I'm going to skip down now to verse 10. So, dear brothers and sisters, work hard to prove that you really are among those God has called and chosen. do these things and you'll never fall away. And I just did the opposite of this. In between takes, this isn't going to make it into the edited video, but I basically repeated myself 3 times and got frustrated and cursed at myself for not doing what I wanted to do. And that is not self-control. That is not endurance. So I clearly have a long way to go. But what I want to focus on is not my shortcomings, although there's plenty there to do. Verse 10 says, "So, dear brothers and sisters, work hard to prove that you really are among those God has called and chosen." Notice it doesn't say, "Dear brothers and sisters, work hard so that you can be among those God has called and chosen." Our works don't bring any value to the table. God doesn't call us or choose us based on our works. He calls us and chooses us simply because of his grace and because of his mercy. But then once he has called us, once he has chosen us, we're to work hard to prove that he has. So again, we're not doing it to earn his favor. We're doing it to show the world around us God's grace and God's mercy and God's calling in our lives. So that's 2 Peter chapter 1. Again, verses kind of 5 through 7, and then jumping down to verse 10. Take a look at that chapter when you have some time. There's a lot of really challenging stuff in 2 Peter. So let me kind of put the computer away, and I'm going to bring my trusty assistant up, Hannah. We'll do the random number generator, and we're going to pick a couple winners. I had 56 individual comments on the last video as of tonight when we were doing the giveaway, but I also had 8 people share a video. And I mentioned that if you shared the video, you'd get an extra entry. So hopefully you can see this. I've got 1 through 64. So 1 through 56 are going to be the comments. And then if it happens to draw a number between 57 and 64, then we're going to look at the video shares. So let's go ahead and hit the first number. Oops, hit the wrong button, guys. Here we go. First number is 54. So that's going to be one of the comments. And the second number is 55. That's crazy. All right, so 54 and 55. Let's see who those winners are. Well, we drew the winners, and now Hannah's going to read off the winners for me. So the first winner was 54. And so that prize pack is the Minute on the Mountain hat, the tie clasp, the Lancaster archery gift card, and the citronella candle. So 54 was this one, Hannah. Which winner is that?
Georgia Trapping and Fishing.
Georgia Trapping and Fishing. So Craig over at Georgia Trapping and Fishing, he's supported my channel from very early on. I would guess, Craig, you were probably one of my first 100, 150 subscribers. So I sure appreciate you, man. Thank you for all the support. If you'll do me a favor, send an email to minuteonthemountain@gmail.com with your shipping address so I can get this out to you. All right, and then winner number 2, which is going to be, again, a hat, the bullet sleeve, and the ReadyWise backpacking meal. Who's that one, Hannah?
Be Still on the Trail.
Be Still on the Trail. Congratulations, brother. Be Still on the Trail from up in the Northeast in Connecticut. His tagline is "Praise the Lord" on all his videos. Love watching his videos. Again, thank you for all your support, and please shoot me that email with your address, and I'll get this shipped out to you. Hey, thanks so much, guys, for all the support. A couple of you sent such encouraging comments to me on this last video about how just God has been able to use me to encourage and bless you by sharing his word. And you don't know how much that means to me. That really is the main reason I decided to get into YouTube, because I just wanted to have an opportunity to share the goodness of God with people that, you know, might be up in the mountains on the weekend and not in the church. And so I'm just grateful. Thanks for letting me be a part of this. Thanks for all your support. We'll do our next giveaway at 1,200 subscribers. And I've got some pretty cool prizes lined up for that one. So God bless you guys. We'll see you the next time we're out on the mountain.